Okay, babe, my goal for you as your life coach is not only for you to take this summer to recharge, relax, have a summer glow up video for you on that, but let's have an emotional glow up. Like, let's come back a completely different person. And that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to give you the exact steps that you need to know to have an emotional glow up over the summer. So, babe, let's dive right into these tips because there's some hard truths, but they are going to change your life. So let's dive in. So an emotional glow up to me is coming into your own maturity and like starting to take ownership of who you are and who you're becoming and like really taking your life to the next level. And 99% of teens aren't going to do this. And as your life coach, I'm trying to help you elevate your life to that next level that most people aren't trying to get to. And like you were gonna see that some of these tips are a little bit harder than others. Some are gonna be really easy for you, but these tips truly will make all the difference. So first and foremost, take ownership of your thoughts. This one I start out with because this one is so incredibly powerful. As a teen and frankly, most people in life, we just feel like life happens to us and there's nothing we can do about it. And it's not our fault that we're upset. And like this person made me feel this way. And that's not true. We get to 100% take ownership of what goes on in our mind. I heard the saddest and coolest story this week about a young woman who survived the Holocaust camps in Nazi Germany. And she said that her mother, as they were putting them in lines to go like in the showers and to go, be deported and to go be killed, like her mom kept saying to her, it's okay, they can't take away what's in your mind. Because they were taking away her clothes and they were taking away their house and then they were taking away their mom and dad and separating her from like her sister. And her mom kept telling her, she said, they can't take away what's in your mind. It's okay. They can't take away what's in your mind. Girlfriend, people can't take away what's in your mind, but you can take ownership of it. Your mind, your thoughts is the most powerful asset that you have in your whole life. So take ownership of those thoughts. The next tip that I have for you for your emotional glow up journey is to declutter your life. This one is a little bit more of like a tactical, like you can go do this in one Saturday afternoon. It's not going to take as much work as like owning your thoughts. But let me tell you why it's so important. I know that we all have different levels of cleanliness. And I'm not saying you have to now be a neat freak or to be OCD about your space or anything like that. But we can collect a lot of stuff in our life that doesn't have meaning and it doesn't add purpose to us and it just gets in the way. And it can be actually so emotionally freeing to get rid of some stuff. And let's be honest, when you go through an emotional change in your life, we like to manifest that in physical ways as well. And so this is me pairing that together for you and saying, we're doing a lot of emotional cleanup. Let's also clean up our spaces. So for you as a teen, that's probably your car and your bedroom. So clean up those spaces, keep them orderly and to whatever you think is orderly and whatever is clean for you that makes you feel at peace. Honestly, I go through your stuff and do the Marie Kondo and say like, does this bring me joy? Do I love this? Do I use this? Do I wear this? And if the answer is yes, keep it and make sure it has a home and a space. But if the answer is no, let's get rid of it because we're doing so much emotional work of cleaning up our life that it's going to feel really good and in sync to do some physical cleanup as well. And they're going to help each other. So a little different, I know, but believe me, they're going to work together for your good. Talking about emotional cleanup, get clear on your inner circle. Now, inner circle, like if you are just finding this video, I have so many videos for you on this on my channel about friends, and I did a whole life coaching circle or session on the inner circle. Basically, it's who influences you, who is in the tightest, closest circle to you when it comes to your influence. So check out those videos because I won't go into depth there, but it is so important to make sure that the 5 people that you are spending the most time with, you want to be just like them because you will be. Now, this tip, I walk all of my clients through this. Like, if you coach with me, you will do this. And we create a 5-year plan. Now, as a teen, 5 years can feel forever away, and I get that. But when we create a 5-year plan, it helps us like set a roadmap for our life. And this doesn't have to be set in stone and that it never changes, or that you don't have gaps or question marks about what you want to accomplish, but it at least gives you a map. It gives you somewhere to go. And I found that for most teens, a 5-year plan reminds them that junior high, high school, even college, not the end all be all. It's not where you're going to blossom. It's not where you're going to peak. You have so many goals that are outside of that it helps us make better decisions right now. And isn't that the whole point of like emotionally growing up and having a glow up and like, you know, maturing, is so that we can make the best choices for us in the future. So create your 5-year plan. Girl, better believe I've got videos on that. So check those out too. This tip I learned from a fellow life coach, and it's changed my life. And so I'm going to give it to you now. And that's to remember 50-50. I know that's yellow on orange, but what is 50-50? So I love to coach and teach, and somebody taught this to me and I found it to be true, that life is 50-50. If you get a brand new puppy, 50% is going to be glorious. It's going to be the cuteness and the pictures and the snuggles and just like all the wonderful things of having a puppy. And 50% is going to be really hard. It's going to be the potty training and them getting you up in the middle of the night and them wrecking your favorite outfit. Like, they're a puppy, right? And so I found that if we can keep perspective and remember, hey, life isn't all wonderful roses and puppies and cupcakes, no matter how positive I am, but it's also not awful, like depression, misery. Like it's not all those things either. It's a blend. And so when you're going through your life, it's really helpful to remember life is 50-50. And how this applies to you is pretend you're sitting in your AP class and that test is coming up and you have to study and you're feeling all that weight of it and you just want to pass and it's all consuming. Guess what? That's the 50% that's hard. That's the work of it that is just so incredibly hard, and it is what it is. But do you know what you're saying yes to? You're saying yes to the college credit and to freedom in the future and to this life that you've outlined on your 5-year plan. And that's the amazing part of it. And you want to make sure that the amazing part is worth the struggle. And so I found that this rule helps me when I've had bad days. It helps me to enjoy the good. It helps me to push myself when I feel that strain of like, oh, this is hard. Being a mom is hard. Making YouTube videos is hard. But it's also wonderful. So if you can keep that perspective, oh my gosh, your life is going to change, and your parents, your teachers, your peers, they're going to notice and they're going to be like, wow, you just like handled that with so much grace. Wow, that's a really mature way to look at it. People will start to notice this one, because when we internalize this belief, life starts to look a little bit different to us. Okay, this tip is huge when we're trying to like emotionally grow up and glow up. To be okay with your emotions. I have found that in a lot of the teens that I coach and I go speak to, they feel bad for feeling bad. They are anxious because they have anxiety. They are sad because they shouldn't be sad about something. Like, they just like really get down on themselves for the way that they're feeling. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to experience what we call negative emotion. Like, it's totally fine. And actually, like, negative emotion, I know we call it that, but like if I went to a funeral of like a beloved grandparent and I was just like, don't worry guys, it's totally fine. Like, death's not a big deal. And like, that's why we have Jesus. Like, yes, I know all those things, but that wouldn't be really good. It wouldn't be good for my friends and family around me who are mourning. It wouldn't be good for me because I'm not mourning and feeling those emotions. If I was like, oh, to cry is bad, to feel sad is bad. And it's like, No, there's a time and a place for all emotions. Here's an example. So I know like a lot of people have anxiety or depression, and those are very real and can hit us all in varying degrees. But there's no point in worrying about your anxiety or worrying about your depression or feeling bad or guilty because of it. Because then we're just compounding these emotions and saying like, well, I don't want to get anxious about this, and so now I'm worried that I'm going to get anxious and blow this up because I do have anxiety, right? Let's just take it in stride and say, you know what? I have anxiety, and if I go into it, it's going to be totally fine. I know what to do about it. I've talked to my therapist or my parents, or like I'm dealing with it, but I'm not going to feel guilt or shame or worry or anxiety about those things. So guess what? If you've gone through a breakup and you're sad, it is okay to be sad. There is a time and a place for that. And in my videos, particularly like about breakups or in my dating course, I talk about how we don't want to stay there, but we definitely got to process through it. So all that to say, like, it's okay. Be okay with your emotions. If you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling stressed, let's not feel stressed because we are feeling stressed. Let's just take a step back and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Oh, I have an AP test, and guess what? That's a stressful thing. And because I'm feeling stressed, I'm going to study and work hard and pray for help, and I'm going to do it. Okay, I love this tip. This tip, I feel like can really empower a teen, because this is the time of your life to start using this tip. And it's this idea. It's this mantra that I take care of me. Now that is really hard to see. Maybe I'll start like a Patreon account so that I can buy new markers for my channel. But this idea that I take care of me will change your life, because as a teen, you're at this crossroads. You have more freedom than you've ever had before. You have more independence than you've ever had before, but you have more responsibility than you've ever had to shoulder before. Like, they come together. And so sometimes we can say things like, well, I'm an adult. Like, I can stay out as late as I want, or I'm an adult and I can do this, or don't tell me what to do. Like, I can make my own decisions. And then other times we're like, tell me what to do. Like, I don't want to make decisions, or I don't want to own up to that, or I don't want to take on that responsibility. Like, can't I just like chill out and not have those responsibilities? So you're kind of at this crossroads, and I am inviting you to just own it. Own your life, take ownership of it, and just decide that I take care of me. So that means a lot of things. It means that, hey, if I want something, I'm going to work hard and go get it. Whether that's a t-shirt or whether that's passing an AP test. I take care of me, and I don't let boys push me around on dates, or I don't hang out with people who don't love me or who don't make me feel good about myself, right? So if you feel like there's an area of your life where you're struggling, so like let's say with friends, you're like, man, I just wish I had better friends. Adopt this mantra and say, I take care of me. So how can I better my friend situation? Because it's up to me. It's not like they're magically going to change. I've got to take care of me and my heart and my friendships, and what can I do about it? So I'd invite you in that situation. Like, I've got so many videos for you. So I would start to study about good friends and how to make new friends. I'd have serious conversations about, are these friends that I want to keep or not? I'd say, hey, listen, is it me? Do I need to be a better friend? Like, start to take on that responsibility and realize that it's up to you to take care of you. Well, babe, did I just like hit you with all of these tips? Emotionally growing up and emotionally like stepping into your own takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work. But I know that if you're somebody who watches these videos, like, this is up your alley and this is so achievable for you. So I want to invite you to focus on just one of these tips that you were like, ooh, yes, that hit me. I had an idea about how I could do that. I'll go declutter my closet today, or I take care of me is now on a sticky note on your mirror. Own one of these, work on one of these until you feel like you've had good experiences with it, until you feel like you recognize when you didn't do it right, and then work on the others. But just like, let's just focus on one area of our emotional maturity and glowing that up as we go. So, babe, I'm wishing you the best of luck. I hope you'll save this video to your watch later so that you can go back and relearn some of these tips. Because like I said, I have to relearn these all the time. I have to remember and stop and say, oh, I'm stressing about stressing. Like, I'm okay. Or, hey, I gotta take care of me. I gotta make sure I'm okay, before I go and do all these other things. So, babe, wishing you the best of luck on your emotional glow up journey, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. So, Abby J out.